Hello friends, this is RedUnicorn and today we are going to play Rimworld. This is my very first YouTube video, so I'm quite excited, and please bear with me if I make any mistakes, and if you think I could improve, just write it in the comments. What I want to do is I want to start a new colony. I want to play a Lost Tribe, which means that you have 5 people you start with and you start with very little technology available to you. Next, I like Randy Random as a storyteller. Arguably, I think actually Cassandra Classic is a more difficult one, because she will hit you in a reasonable time frame, but also you can plan around that to some degree. And this is if you're maybe starting out the game and want to focus more on the building than on the fighting parts of the game. So Randy Random is just well, he's true to his name actually. So I want to start on the Blood and Dust difficulty level, and I am going to pick Reload Anytime mode here because just in case something crashes. But we're going to pretend to be playing on commitment mode. I would like to choose the Sharp Seed, and I am going to go for a little bit higher globe coverage because I'm looking for a very specific tile, and the chances are higher that I actually find what I'm looking for. I'm also going to up the population, which means that you will have more trading locations available to you, and I want to have one of each faction. Now I'm generating the planet. As you can see, I have quite some mods installed, although none of them, in my opinion, actually changes the story. This is more quality of life mods. I will add a full mod list in the description down below. And whenever I'm using this mods, I'm going to try to tell you which one it is and what it is doing. To find the tile I'm looking for, I also installed the Prepare Landing mod, which you can start by pressing P. And then you can select basically what you want your tile to look like. So I want to play in a tropical rainforest, and I want to have a mountainous terrain type because I want to build a mountain base. Road type, river types, and all the other things I don't care about. What I do want is a coastal tile, and I also want specific stone types because I like granite because it's the hardest, marble because it's the prettiest, and I don't need the other ones. And one more thing I'm turning off is caves. I do not like to start out with caves. Caves usually have a lot of bugs in them, which we will be able to deal with bugs, but I'd rather not have them on my starting map. So let's see what the map offers. You have to click filter tiles, and then you have to minimize the prepare landing screen, so it actually shows you where you can go. We have exactly one position available, and it's exactly like we chose. We want to have mountains, we want to have marble and granite. There's a year-round ground period, and it's in the tropical rainforest. This is our location. Well, we don't have much choice, so let's just continue. We are going to create a fixed ideoligion. This basically turns ideology off. This means you start with a little bit, and you can accumulate points to change things and add things to your ideoligion during the game, which is also quite fun to play. But for this, I'm going to start with a custom ideoligion. What I want is, create a custom one. I am choosing Buddhist origin just because I haven't played it before, and I'm curious about the designs. And then we're starting with the important stuff. I want to be a tunneler and darkness meme, which basically means that we have unlocked the roles of mining specialists. We mine faster. And we can build fungal gravel, which is very important later on. And we are darkness, which means we do not like light. We do not want to be outside. which will also make traveling a bit more difficult because people will be outside during travel, obviously, and they're gonna hate it, but we're just gonna manage. The last thing I want is the supremacist, because I really do like the shooting and melee specialists roles. And this is basically it. We're choosing this, and then we're going to change Neo-Navayana. Okay, we're going to change this, and the styles are Buddhist and totemic, which is okay. The precepts, slavery, honorable, I do not want that, which means that if we are getting unhappy if we do not have slaves, acceptable is okay. Combat in darkness is preferred and dark light preferred, that's okay. Execution required, I do not want that because we're getting mood debuffs if we do not execute somebody in a certain time frame, and you can't always, well, you don't always have people to execute, so we don't care about that. We love insect meat, we have a high mining yield, and female clothing, pants and shirts, and I'm all for equality, so males also are unhappy if they do not have pants and shirts on. We are okay to harvest organs. We find cannibalism horrible. Yes, we prefer fungus. We don't care about small spaces. And corpses are ugly, and yeah, they are. Physical love, I'm going to turn to 3, which means that people, as long as they are in some kind of relationship, they are allowed to share a bed, which is making them happy, and that's fair enough. We only marry one person, that's okay, and we're going to keep the names. No, we're going to keep random names, which means they choose either the male's or the female last name, but one of them is going to change the last names. We will have a leader. He will be our, not Great Chief, but Red Chief, and female the same. I know some people don't like this, but we are going to remove the required apparel, not to make it easier on us, because if we want to wear armor, which we do want in later game, if we want to don't get shot in the head, our chief is going to be very unhappy all the time, and it's already pretty hard to keep them happy, so I'd at least leave it at that. The moral guide, we're going to RedUnicorn is Bhikkhu. Oh my god. We're going to call the Red Counselor, and we are also removing the apparel. Done. The melee specialist will be the Storyteller. How about the red sword? And the shooting specialist will be the snipe speaker. That's kind of cool. The red sniper. I think that's cool. Done. Rituals. Let me remove those. I want to have the funeral of obviously we'll keep. Deep Requiem we are going to change to Red Requiem. And next we want to have we're going to start out with the Sky Lantern Festival, which we will edit. We will call it RedUnicornist Fiesta. How about lanterns? Because then I can actually remember what the party is. And we're going to put it on a specific day, the 1st of August, which will be our first festival then. And we're going to want a random recruit if we have a very good ritual. Next we're going to choose the drums take a while to fashion, so we're going to choose the symbol burning, which we are going to for the Red Advent, and this is going to be on the 1st of September, and you guessed it, random recruit. Done. It says here that if you want to burn something, you have to have a building to burn, so we're going to remove this and instead add a sacrificial flag. In that way you can actually do this ritual. In the past I missed the warning and they wanted to do a symbol burning without me being able to build the symbol, which kinda sucked. The next one is going to be a social festival, which is the, well, Red Jubilee. And we're setting it on the, maybe you already guessed it, 1st of December, sorry. And we want a random recruit again. So, last one is going to be the drum party, which is the red drums on the 1st of April, May, and we want a random recruit. Done. Buildings I leave at this. This is going to be our shrine then. They want kneel pillows to kneel on. And we have the building relics. This is a bit too many, I think. I'm going to remove one. This is fine. Red. Great bow. This is the great bow. This is fine. We are tribals. We're going to look for the great bow. What is that? I have no idea. I'm going to remove this. This looks pretty. I'm going to keep this, but though corpus. Done. Okay, fine. Weapon pair we don't want. We do not want any venerated animals because animals are going to be really hard to keep in a mountain base. The rest we're going to leave like that. Next, we're going to have some people to choose from. So, starting people are very important. I personally do not look what I want, but I'm going to check what I do not want first, which is, first of all, addictions. Addictions are really bad. So anyone who's starting out addicted, you can see this under health here, does not get into my group at all. We have a torso and left shoulder bite scar, painful and aging, so this person will be continuously unhappy. But he's a masochist, so he's actually going to be very happy about this. Okay, I'm going to keep you because you're actually a good fighter and you're planter and animals, which is okay. I pull him up top so I don't forget. This is okay. Psychite addiction like this one, no matter his stats, like he's an amazing artist, but he's also jealous, so you're out. No thank you, no addictions. And a bad back is also really bad. You can see him moving minus 30%, and he's a slow learner, so this one's going out as well. Nope and nope. The other one's chemical fascination. Nope. That's a no too. So I have already have 3 no's, so I am going to have to make do with the 5 that are here. I could randomize, but I personally think that this is cheating. I'm going to play the game like this without randomizing or being nitpicky about my people. So we can see that we already have here a lot of good stats. Everybody has a passion for something. I'm just gonna check because it's not on here if we have anybody capable of social, because that's going to be our leader, and it looks like this is the department we're actually really lacking about, which is really, really bad because you need social for recruiting, and well, none of our people is actually too good at it. So, who do we have? We have a psychopath, masochist, but beautiful person who is good at shooting and melee fighting plants and animals. He is hurting, which he likes because he's masochist. And this one's tough masochist, or another masochist, okay, who is very good at melee fighting and who has a passion for shooting but isn't good at it. He's going to be our doctor probably, and he's also passionate in mining. Mining's only 4, but if they have a passion they learn pretty quickly, especially if you set them to do that all day long, which I'm going to, building a mountain base. So he's gonna learn quickly. Yes, he. And this one's a female, she's very young, she's a very neurotic teetotaler, which is okay. And she's artist, plants, animals. Also nothing amazing, but at least she's not addicted to anything. And slow learner, depressive. Well, this one would probably be the first one I get rid of if I didn't already have the bad people. Because slow learner means that they learn a lot slower. Otherwise he's starting out with 10 mining, which is actually very good. And if we can keep him with that, I'm gonna be okay with that. Problems intellectual. Well, I'm going to see about this. So he is psychically sensitive, which means that he's going to make a good caster. And which might actually be an interesting role because he's incapable of fighting. But those are the ones we're going with. I'm going to rename them later in the game because those Bankroiduya, those names are actually hard to pronounce, some of them. And well, actually, let's make it like this. First comment gets first pick. You can pick who you want to be, and I'm just gonna rename the pawns to be named like you. Let's start the game. Except if you have some not YouTube friendly names, then I'd rather not. Okay, the gods were angry and basically we escaped and have to start a new life. Let's take a look at the map. Okay, I'm going to pause immediately. First thing I always do is under orders I allow if you do right click you can unforbid all items. That means that the game automatically allows them to pick up everything on the map. I do have the mini-map installed. I find this really useful. You can see enemies, you can see fires, you can see where you people are, you can see your animals, and you can see predators. This map looks... wow, this looks good. So you have the entrance points for enemies in the north and in the east. So we probably want to settle somewhere close to here. We want to use the tree a lot, which is great that it's here. We are going to have to be careful about the range, because if we want to build anything, well, you can build close to the tree, but it reduces the sci-focus people get from meditating at it. So, which actually makes this steam gazer pretty much unusable for us. But the first thing we're going to do is assign our weapons. I like to have the numbers mod because I can see here who is actually going to get the bows. Like Bankroidua. Please help me rename that one. Is equipping the short bow, and the other bow goes to Asmea. I'm going to let them pick those up. Who is going to be our melee fighter? Oh, the same ones. Great. So the other three are basically useless for now. Chara doesn't get a weapon. Dorner is going to pick up the Pila because this is ranged as well as a close combat weapon. So he can shoot until somebody gets too close to him. And the last one who gets a weapon is the monkey. Monkey gets the Iqua. Because this is the best close range weapon, and I do have the simple sidearms mod installed, which means that I want Asmea to equip the club as a sidearm and the other one to equip the knife as a sidearm. You can see that my people already want to eat because we saw that in the beginning, they all have malnutrition, which is of course going to be a thing. We have animals. We have a stallion, a cat, and a husky. Please don't hate me for slaughtering the horse, but we will build a mountain base and we have no use for a horse. I set the husky to be trained because he will make a very... Cassandra will make a very useful hauling animal. Next, you want to check if we want to live here but not too close to the tree. We might actually make our starting area here. This looks good. This can be walled off fairly quickly. We just have to be careful because this seems to be some... This is marsh. It says always in the bottom corner if you mouse over something what it is. You can see if you turn on the terrain affordance that you can't build here. You can't build on any of those. Not stone walls. You can still make wooden walls, which we are going to do. We're going to make a wooden wall here and, well, basically get started for now. What I always do in the beginning too is I turn off the automatic home area, because it's annoying if you send them to harvest ambrosia on the other end of the map and then suddenly that's your home area. And I always toggle on that if something gets destroyed, they will automatically rebuild it. I really like if they do that, because I do not always remember how I left things. Next, I'm going to assign tasks. Well, for jobs, we do turn off manual priorities. They're not very useful. They should do firefighting, they should do be a patient, doctor, nurse, and surgeon always has to be on one, bed rest always on one. Haul plus is another mod. I can select something on the map and tell them to haul it urgently, which means that this is the first thing they will do and not the last thing they will do. I turn that on too, because there are things that are more important than that. Those I leave as they are. Warden, because nobody's really good at it. We are going to put... the Dorna has to be a warden for now. Warden is the one who talks to the prisoners. Handle, we just want one handler, and if we have a choice between those two, I'm going to have to check later. The dogs would prefer to be Trara, who isn't even capable. But we're going to have to check later. Cook, we also could have 2, 7 and 4. I always go for the patients, because if they do what they like, they're actually happy doing it. That's what we want. No harvesting here or here. Repair and constructing, the same thing. You're going to be our miner. So I'd rather you do that full time. Which means that you are going to have to be our constructor. You're going to be our planter. We might need a second one, but for now we're keeping it at that. Asmea is not doing anything yet, so they will do mining as well. We will build a mountain base, so it's good to have more than one miner. We do have a slight problem in the cooking area, because we have one grower, one good miner, and only both of them would be able to cook. I'm going to leave it at Dorna because he has a 7 in cooking. And, well, yeah. That's obviously better. I'm going to put him on plant cut 2, which means that if I tell him to cut a tree, he's going to... She is going to do that before she's harvesting or planting anything. Drugs I'm turning off at the moment because we're not making any drugs. Fabrication, yeah, Bankroida, he's not doing anything yet. We're going to leave this with him, and art is going to be monkey. Refine, if you shift and then left click, you can turn everybody up, and with right click down. So I always leave this on 3 for everybody, as well as smelt and stone cut. So whoever is bored is doing those things. Crafting, that's okay. Loading I turned down on 4, cremating and delivering and hauling, because I think that cleaning's more important than hauling most of the time. What I do is, if everybody's really bored, they can do some research. I put everyone on 4 in research, especially in the beginning, and I put the researcher off cleaning. He's not going to be doing any researching because he's going to be mining, so we're going to do this with him too. And we actually do want our researchers to prioritize researching above all else. So the way that works is lower the number, like 1 is the highest priority, and then it goes from the left to the right. So they do everything with 1 first, firefight, patient, bed rest. Then they do, well, maybe here's a better example. Then they do everything with 2 first. So he will haul, and then he will plant cut, and then he will go back to number 3, like rearm, refuel, harvest, grow, and then the research. And after researching the 4, basically, which means that number 4 he's never going to do because he's going to be stuck at researching, except if the research bench is occupied. This is another mod. This is the complex jobs mod. I do not like the game's standard way to do this, because especially if you get more people, you want to start splitting tasks along. Handling, we're going to have with the constructor. Actually, with both of them. I don't care. One of these is going to handle. That's fine, but for handling, we're going to need some food first. You can't train a dog without some yummy food, can you? Now, notice that I still haven't unpaused the game yet, except for picking up the weapons. First thing we want to do is see that we have a roof over our heads for the night. We want to build a wooden wall. Later on, I do not recommend wooden walls because, you know, they burn. Oh, and another thing, you want to turn this off. Place blueprints over Mount Rock. You don't want to do that. And a wooden door. But for now we have wood. That's all we have. We have not even unlocked the stone cutting research, so we're going to build ourselves some wood for wooden walls. I want the planter, not the builder, to cut those plants, to harvest those trees. So I'm going to tell them to chop wood. That way, if that doesn't get selected, it means it's still too small to be considered grown enough. So I want my planter to cut those plants and not my constructor, because my constructor has a planting skill of, well, actually it's not that bad. 4, yeah, it is bad. And I do not want him spending ages cutting trees to build a roof. So first things first, we're going to build ourselves a wall. They're going to build the roofs automatically. We do not have beds, so we're going to make do with sleeping spots. You might want to check under social if anybody's a couple. You want to take them into account. But so we have one friend. Yeah, he's a friend because he's pretty. He's stunning. She. He is stunning, so that's why everybody thinks he's very, 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 he's already automatically a friend. And Tara, nobody cares about for whatever reason. So no couples. We want to make 4 starting sleeping spots. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we want to build a table. I'm going to unpause now. Wait, no. I'm not. I want to check my planting zones first. We do not need a lot of plants, but we need some. Well, let's plant something. We're going to move here later. We're going to dig in here. Sometimes the edges are open, but you can check, like, there might be a bubble of not mountain here, but you can check this easily. You have to pick one of your melee people, like monkey, draft him with the R, select the weapon, see how it's like this red sign. That means that there's nothing to attack here. And over the mountain, it gets you see the weapon because you can actually attack the mountain. So what you can do is you can go all the way from, see, here's something open. Oh, I hope it's not going too far. Okay, good. So we do not want to go here, we do not want to open this up because enemies come from here. This is going to be... yikes. So we want to stay clear from this edge of the map. This is okay. Here's something open again, but not. Yeah. So we want to stay clear of the corners, but this is a very easy way to check if there's anything there where you do not want to open up. Sometimes it's also good to check if you do want to open up something, like in a mountain base you need some areas where you want to be able to put your ventilation to. I might want to go here, we'll see. Build my kitchen here and then put the coolers out here so I do not have the coolers get attacked from outside. We'll see. You can go, monkey. Thank you. I'm going to unpause now. No, I wanted to do that and then I decided to make a growing zone. We do not want to grow much because we are tunnelers and we like fungus, and fungus hates light. So we do not want to grow outside, we want to grow in the mountain, but we want to do some rice. So we will be able to train our dog and to tame animals. I have a plan for that. So now they can start running around. They are all eating, and which also already gets them the first mood debuff, because as you can see with Trara, he ate without a table. She ate without a table, which is kind of gross. And as you can see, blinding light, she really hates it. It gives her a -8 mood debuff. And you can also see burning passion for my work. That's why I do love to set people to something they actually like to do. Like planting. As long as she's planting, she gets a +14 mood buff, which is really great. This is the, I think this is the Rimworld mod. So they start working right away, and as you can see, as I wanted, Trara is going to start cutting those plants before planting rice over here. I wanted to set up a hauling zone, a stockpile zone for them to start hauling things. You can put that on the marsh, which is fine. I think it is fine. We'll have to check if something degrades because it's in the marsh. The stockpile zone will get everything plus corpses. Only animal corpses and nothing rotten, which means that if they hunt something, they bring it back here. I want to have that here for the moment. And now everybody needs to go hauling. Monkey is already slaughtering the horse. I'm sorry, my friend, my horse friend. I like horses, but you are not fitting with our mountain base at all. As you can see, the walls are going to be up pretty quickly, which means we want to have some light inside. We will take a dark torch because, or two. I think the radius is not quite correct here. Because while our people do not, our people actually like it dark, I like to be able to see what they're doing. As you can see, Monkey is going to start building the roof immediately as he finishes the room. She finishes the room. Please help me rename those and write some comments down below. Can you just build a dark torch for now? And another one, please. Thank you. You can manually tell them to do something. I actually micromanage far too much, probably. Once she's done building those, I want her to build a research bench, which means that we need to start mining, because as you can see, we do not have any steel. If you start out as a tribal, you do not have any steel. We're going to build a research bench. We can't build it here, because as you can see here, because I turned on the wrong thing. We can't build it here because it doesn't support it. We are going to build a research bench here. And then we're going to build 4 stools, 5 stools. One here, 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 and here. so we can build a table here, which means that one stool can be used by the researcher and sitting at the table. What we do not want to forget is recreation, a hoopstone, because we hate the outside. We're going to put the hoopstone inside. It works inside as well as it works outside. And the board game. You can see here, if you click on the information, that they give that there are different recreation types. And your colonists are going to get bored if you only provide them with one. So this is dexterity play here, the hoopstone ring, and the game of ore is cerebral play. And if you check one of the colonists, doesn't matter whom, underneath recreation, it says that having 2 recreation types is recommended as their expectations rise. They want to have more different types, and what recreation is actually available. So if you ever find something that it says your person is bored, it doesn't mean they have nothing to do. It means they do not have the right recreation type to do. Hunter lacks ranged weapon, which means that I have this person set as a hunter, which is correct. I just have to select the right weapon, and now it goes away. I also have another mod installed, fixable mood debuff, which tells me if somebody's unhappy for a reason that I can solve. We're going to fast forward this for a bit. You can see Trara running off to plant some rice now, and Asmea is wandering, so we're going to start mining ourselves some steel for the research table, which he should be doing. Yes, they both are. There's another useful mod I like. Some people call this cheating. I just call it easier. It's the Achtung mod, which basically I can tell them to mine everything that's steel underneath here. And the color blind minerals, which means that I can actually see the minerals more easily. Sometimes they're so hard to find. I can mouse over the map, I can see immediately something yellow, that's compacted machinery. This is steel, this is machinery again, and so on. So you don't have to very carefully skim over the edges of the mountain everywhere. So they are mining steel while Monkey's finishing the roof. So we are already inside. If you want to see the quality of your room, you can just choose your sleeping spot, and it says it's awful barracks, -25. It's very spacious, but it's poor, it's hideous, and it's very dirty. And this reminds me that we're going to have to make this as a home area, because otherwise it won't get cleaned. Why are we starting with the game of ore board? How about you start with the table, because next time somebody eats, I actually want them to eat at the table. He's going for a walk now, which I don't like, so I'm going to set the schedules. At the beginning we're not doing much meditating, we have to get started first. Later I'm going to put meditation in the schedule. For now we're going to we'll give them 1 hour to wake up. We're going to start working all day long, and in the evening some recreation, so yeah, you can be happy before you go to bed. You can copy this and everybody gets the same schedule. And just if they want to do some recreation, some meditation for recreation, I'm going to put some meditation spots down here, because the tree's not that far away to walk to. I'm going to make it 5. So if they want to go meditate, they can. They all have they're all tribals, so they should all start out with a natural meditation focus, which they have. And as I said before, which one was the one who was the one with the hurting scars? But this one, I'm not bothering pronouncing this name. He has painful scars, etching scars, so he is slower because of those scars. But he is also happy because he's a masochist in serious pain, and he say, "Ooh, I love it. Yeah, keep it coming." Sometimes I love this game. Who am I kidding? I always love this game. So, we are building our research table. And we're done mining already. Now, next I want to set a research project. This is the research tree. As you can see, we start with some very low basics. We do have stone cutting, but normally you do not have stone cutting as a tribe. That is because we started as tunnelers, only then you get stone cutting. First thing I want to be able is to build some beds. So I'm going to check complex furniture. This is just, I can ignore that because this is something I can research, but which does not work for me because I have the wrong ideoligion. I'm just going to ignore that. So somebody should be starting researching. Next, we do not want this horse to spoil, do we? So we're going to have to start to butcher it, which means we need a butcher table. I always put that outside because butchering is a dirty job and we do not want the inside to be dirty. For cooking, there's two things you could do. You could go under furniture, no, under temperature, and get yourself a campfire. Problem is that my people do not like fires. They don't like it. The bright light, it's ugly, it's gross. We do not like fires. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a fuel stove right away. Just going to need some wood, which means we're going to have to cut some wood, which we do not like, but that's fine. He's nearly done with the rice, so what we do want to plant as well is we do want some... I have to be careful about the growing zones here. We do want some cotton. So we're planting this close to home too. Yeah, we're going to want some cotton. This is going to be cotton. We also want some hair root. This should be enough. And we want some Tinctoria. Tinctoria is for changing our colors, which is going to make people a little bit happier. Who was my builder? Monkey. You're building the butcher's table. How about you build the stool first? I want a stool for everybody. Okay? So you can see, because Donner's bored, he's already delivering the stuff for my buildings. And the next thing, we're going to plan our base. As I said, we have to be careful about the tree. I have another mod, the planning mod, which lets me do some plans. There are some walls here. I want to know where I can't build anything, like where I can dig and where the tree prevents me from building stuff. And I can't see that in the mountain, so what I'm doing is I'm marking it here, like this, and then I'm going to copy this plan. I'm going to invert it, and this way I can see where I should not dig, because I can't put anything in there. Okay. Interesting. I'm just gonna leave it like that. So, what we want to do is... First thing I want to do is build... I always have a certain size I want my things to be. I like them to be exactly 13 by 13 tiles. That means that the roofs won't collapse. That means that the orbital trade beacon later fits quite well. And this is going to be my kitchen. I'm going to double wall it, and I want it inside the mountain. But my kitchen is always going to be bordering to the outside because we will have to put some coolers in it, and I do not want to... Like, if you cool your kitchen, you heat up the other side of the cooler, and if you put it in the hallway is going to get like stifling hot. So we want to go this direction. What I'm going to do is build my kitchen here. And, well, my freezer, actually, my kitchen is going to be this small little rooms over here. This is where my freezer is going to be. And directly adjacent to the freezer, 13 by 13 again, we're going to have the rec room. For now. This is a basic start. This is where I'm going for now. And I just do that so I can start digging. I do not want the entry here. I want a hallway. And I always make my hallways 3 wide. In the mountain base, I always make my hallways 3 wide. It's easier to deal with insects like that. I can explain to you why later. So this is going to be my hallways, and then we're going to enter here. We want to dig out this, and then we want to dig out the freezer. Freezer is still some time away, so for now we're going to tell our miners to, because they are bored, to start mining the hallway and to start mining this room. This is going to be our first inside room. So, we're getting started. Asmea, you are a miner, so if you draft and undraft them, they're going to start working. Monkey's building our butchery table. And we are going to start making our first bill. We're butchering creature. I always said this do forever, but I'm going to decrease the range because I do not want them to run all over the base just to find corpses. They're automatically set to not butcher human-like corpses, which is a good thing because they are getting unhappy if they butcher humans, naturally. And so our cook, which is for now Monkey, should start butchering the horse. After he already has this task queued, so he's not going to interrupt it. Dorner? Oh, Dorner is our cook. Okay, I got it. Okay. With the better workbench management, you can also tell them to drop something on the floor or take it to the best stockpile. I wanted them to take it to the best stockpile. And we have 2 animals. We should put down some animal beds so they can sleep with us. A dog and a cat. How cute. So, Dorner is done with butchering, so I want them to do cooking. I want them to cook 4 simple meals for now. And I want them to do this until they have... I always calculate like 3 meals per person, so we want him to stop at 11. At 12, because... 11. 12, because if we reach 11, he's going to cook 4 meals, so which brings him back to 15, which is the one we actually want. We allow meat. We allow insect meat because we actually like insect meat. And vegetarian, we allow everything. That's okay. And this is also with a decreased ingredient radius. I do not... Like, if our planter starts harvesting, I do not want them to run over there, grab 10 rice and cook a meal. And the second one is because I put batches. They're going to use 40 meat for that. I think 2 nutrition. And if they have 30 meats, the 30 meats is going to rot, which we do not want. So what we do here is we do exactly the same thing. Just cook 1 meal if you do not have enough resources for the 4 meals. Turn on the insect meat. Reduce the radius, and you're done. And now we should have Donner taking, because the was not refueled, it was not fueled yet, and they start cooking. In that moment is when I start assigning food restrictions. I do not like most of these. I always do my own thing, so we have food restriction meals. I always call it meals because I want you to eat meals only. No raw food, no pemmican, no nothing. As long as we have meat, I want to save the pemmican for when we actually need it, like we want to travel. I want everyone to attack if somebody comes. Obviously, Chara as a non-violent person, I can't set that too. I want everybody on herbal medicine. And the outfits, I also added the anything outfit because they're getting unhappy if they get tattered apparel, which is 50 or below. So I'm going to set that to 51 quality or 51%, and that's it. I want to have our doctor, which is Asmea. Well, first of all, everything herbal. Carry herbal medicine 3. So if somebody needs to be treated somewhere else quickly, they don't run around for medicine. We have 58 steel, but I'm not worried. They're going to find some more inside the mountain, and if we really need more steel, we're just going to mine some more. I'm setting a zone. I'm going to manage areas. I'm going to rename this the cat zone. And I'm going to set the cat for please stay inside. Which means I do not want my cat to be hunted by... Well, what is that, for example? This one. By a panther or by a cobra or anything. I want it inside at all times. I set both animals to this stone at the moment because the dog is being trained, and as long as the dog is being trained, I do not want him running around the map and one of those two running after him. As you can see, Monkey is already training the dog. He got some meat and started training but failed, which is because he's not very good at it, but we're going to get there at some point. Also because this horse meat is 246. We can check how many meals this is going to be. I mean, 2 are already gone. But we're going to run through this meat pretty fast, and I want to eat meat in the beginning because they don't like anything else. Like, they ate pemmican. They did eat pemmican. Contains meat. Okay. And now they're set to recreation, which is what they are doing. Sometimes, I don't know why, like, he should be doing recreation, he's at 21%, but instead he's researching. Sometimes I have an eye on that because they get unhappy fast. I just draft, undraft, and he's going for a walk. Donner, I'm going to let you finish cooking, and then you can recreate as well. Obviously, the meat is not going to last that long. We had 245, and now we have 9 meals. This is going to be gone by tomorrow. I'm going to expand the zone, and what we're going to have to start doing is hauling those things out. We do not want them in the base, which means I have to set a place to put those chunks, which is where I want to put my stonecutters table too. For now, I'm going to put a dumping stockpile zone here. The way the dumping stockpile zone works is they put chunks in there and all kinds of corpses. I do not want rotten corpses. Fresh corpses in here, and I do not want mechanoid corpses in here. Monkey's going for a walk, and everybody's happy so far. So after the recreation, they're going to go to bed. Let me check the needs. If anybody's really unhappy and I can do something about it. Too much outdoors, we can't do anything with that at the moment. Eat without table, this should be going away. Unsightly environment, yeah, we're going to work on that. You are sleeping. You are hauling. He has nothing to do, that's why he's hauling, cleaning trash. Cleaning's not the worst thing to do actually. And then he's starting to research. See, not because he's good at it, but because he did everything else on his list and researching is the only thing that's left for him. Dorna is cooking, and if Dorna's not cooking, he's going to be mining, so he's not going to do any research. And Trara is going to go on research once they're done planting those things out there. Oh, he's gonna eat that out. She's gonna eat that outside. Awful light, blinding light, awful barrack. Yeah, we're going to working on. We have to work on that. We are expanding the home zone already because if they want, they need to clean this. They can, if they find the time for that. And then we're starting with mining. As you can see, I have 11 meals, which is not enough. Which means that we have to go hunting. What I actually like to do is I'm going to pick all of my ranged people. I do not like the hunting mode, especially not with mountain people because they're running around outside far too much. I'm going to pick myself a bigger predator like the panther over there, and I'm just going to remove the panther, the predators from the map. This is going to be a bit tricky. Put the move speed down here so you can see that he's actually faster than the others. To check the range, they're just out of range. I'm going to put him in front here a little bit because the panther, once attacked, is going to answer. Or run away. Okay, that's so much for my demonstration. You're going to be up front a little bit, and you guys are going to shoot the panther. Yeah, great. Stop running away. This is annoying. But that's what they do now. I already had animals run off the map even. So your hunters actually do not bring back anything because they kept shooting at something for a long while and then it ran off the map. Now it's attacking. I'm going to remove Asmea. Those two, I'm moving them backwards a bit. And Dorna, you can please run. Okay. Start running, start running, start running. He's not fast enough. Okay, that was not my brightest choice here. You both run away. Why are you so fast still? Death in 9 hours. You hit the legs. You should be faster. You shoot. And you run. Great. So that was very... yeah, normally I'm better at this game. Chara? Can you rescue the monkey? Can you rescue them? And can you really attack the panther? Because... Thank you. Okay, you rescue Dorna because you're faster and he's going to bleed out. Oh, wow. In a few hours, in 3 hours. Do we have any permanent damage? No, not yet. And for you? 8 hours. This is old. So, but monkey, you can actually... After you train Cassandra, I can see that down here. I want you to haul the panther. I mean, we put so much hard work in it. Would be bad if we didn't, at least, get something out of it. So that might not have been the best plan, but things like that happen. Clearly this hasn't been one of my brightest moments, but we learn from our mistakes, don't we? Medical emergency. Yes, I know. Asmea is starting to tend to Dorna immediately. Let's hope he can save them, because otherwise we're going to have a slight 2 hours. Please make it 4 hours. Okay, that's looking better. And then tending to Bankroida. Do I want them to tend them to themselves? They are the doctor. I think self-tend with 8 is still better with than a foreign tend with 2. So I'm going to turn self-tend on for them. We saved his life. And yeah. Asmea is tending to themselves right now, and then they're eating. Okay, fine. And feeding the others. And going for a walk. So let's hope there's no infections. Let's settle down for the night. And if you got to this point, please leave a like or a comment or subscribe for more Rimworld content. Thank you for watching.